V White the Great, Body Baggers the Brotherhood. Keeping it 100 with Zoda Roasta and Myisha Pooh. Hostile Takeover. Holla at your boy.
Have a lot of heart. You got to have a lot of soul. You got to have a fat gap. A brother better be strapped.
I love it. I love it. Look, check this out. Hostile Takeover brings you yet another episode of Keeping It 100 with Zoda Roasta.
Myisha Pooh.
Yes, and like I said, man, like I say all the time, we continue to bring the heat. Today we got a special guest, a legendary cat from Oakland, California. You know, he's an artist, a father, an entrepreneur, all-around great guy from what I know to be, you know what I'm saying, from my perspective, though, and we like to introduce him into our fold and appreciate his presence. Vidal.
V White.
So, Prevost, is that how you say that?
Prevost is my last name. That's my birth last name.
I never knew that. I thought your last name was White.
No, White came because everybody started calling me White because I like to do white shit. So,
That's right. I heard that in the podcast you did with my brother.
well, they call it white shit, but I just call it fun.
It's crazy how you learn new shit about somebody.
I just think that you were just ahead of your time. That's it.
That's it.
Because I know you make like 15-year goals instead of 5-year goals.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I told the nigga, I just told you, I said, you know, that Cuban cigar shit, that's some rich nigga shit. And you said, yeah. That was some cool shit.
I mean, I
right
smoke
there.
cigars. It's just if I smoke a cigar, I ain't gonna smoke a half a Tampa.
Right. Oh, so you would do some nigga shit.
No, I'm not gonna smoke a half a Tampa.
At all.
No.
But you would smoke a Cuban.
Yeah.
What's the difference, just to educate us?
Well, you got wherever the tobacco come from. You got Nicaraguan tobacco. You got Brazilian tobacco.
So it's the quality of the tobacco.
Yeah, and the wrap.
I mean, shit, look at him. Look how he look. Quality. Well groomed, well dressed. He's always on point.
She always flirting.
I'm not flirting.
Hey,
I'm just giving him his props. I'm
No,
just
it's
giving him
always
his
good.
props.
It's always, I'm not hating.
Every time I see him, he's
I'm
on
not
point.
hating, but you
Look
want
at
me to
his
say?
teeth.
What you want me to say? Yeah, he is.
No, you don't
cute.
have to say nothing. The viewer's gonna agree with me. He's a stand-up guy.
That's my nigga. Most definitely,
Yes.
most definitely. I'm talking about, we come from Oakland and we come from, you know what I'm saying, want to dress nice and be nice and smell nice and shit like that, though, you know what I mean? And pop our motherfucking collar so that when young women like you come around, you can appreciate that shit. You know what I'm saying? So.
But see, he's a real man that like to get manicures, and he don't like people coming to his house with sneaky feet. Right. He's on point. That, come on, you gotta appreciate a man like this.
So we're gonna interview you in a minute. So so anyway,
we ain't interviewing
doing your stalkation. I just made that up right now. I'm brilliant. But yeah, man, you always been a stand-up guy. So, you know, quick story I want to share with you right quick. When I first got up on the Delinquents,
Right.
we did a show in Castro Valley.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you remember this or not. It was Delinquents. It was Next to Kid, me and my brother. It was Yuck Mouth and them and all them young groups, and we was in that motherfucker. We was rocking. It was going good. Something happened, and you had a whole red sweatsuit on that day. I remember this shit.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I always thought I was the toughest nigga in Oakland. Like I still do. I think I hold the crown. But listen, the way you was moving, I was like, who the fuck is this nigga? Oh, that's Vidal. But you was moving like a mobster. Like it was. I saw the seriousness, and that made me show some respect, though. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, I seen you in a different light because, like I say, Oakland niggas, even with other out of town niggas, we think we the toughest.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And real recognize real. Real gangsters recognize gangsters. And I saw you different from that day on, though, you know what I mean? But I see niggas move in movements, you know. I've been to prison, and you see the fear in they motherfucking ass. Not the, you know, that mobbery, like, nigga, I'm ready for whatever.
Right.
And you had that in your system. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, I liked it that, though, you know what I mean? So, like I say, I seen you different. Now, with this music shit, though, the Delinquents, you and G-Stack.
Yeah.
How did that even start? Like, how did,
Well,
you from?
I grew up on Wells Street.
Right.
73rd and Wells Street.
And G-Stack from the Village.
65th.
Yeah, but so what, like, if you was to claim somewhere in Oakland, who would you claim?
Well, I mean, I've been all over Oakland, but the only thing that I ever had a shirt with the number on it that I got from Wackies or Granny Goo Goos was 73rd and Lockwood.
73rd Lockwood.
Yeah.
Okay, no doubt about it. Yeah, legendary spot.
Right.
Most definitely. So, how did you and G-Stack come together and hook up and say we're going to create the Delinquents?
We went to high school together, Fremont High.
Right.
And I used to date his sister. And then our whole little crew was like intertwined. And I kind of met his sister through that. And we started dating, but we always hung out.
Oh, so he was cool with you fucking his sister?
That was my girlfriend.
Oh, my bad. Y'all wasn't fucking?
But it's more than just fucking when it's your girlfriend.
Yeah, but I didn't want none of my partners fucking my sister, man. But anyway, man.
Yeah, that's like you saying my daddy being there fucking my mama.
No, my daddy was fucking my mama.
That's what I said.
That's what happened.
That's what he was doing?
For sure.
That wasn't his woman?
He was fucking her.
Okay.
No, ain't that the realest? That's the realest shit you can say, though. Right?
Okay.
You might not want to say it because
everything ain't got to be said.
Hold on, but watch this,
How about
though.
that?
It might not be might not be the most popular thing to say. You know what I'm saying? But as a comedian, and I speak my mind and say what the fuck I want to say, moms was getting fucked. You know what I'm saying?
So when your daughter boyfriend come over, he in there fucking your daughter.
And my daughter bet not be fucking.
Oh no, you change your tune. Come on, bro. You can't change your tune now. Oh no,
my daughter bet not be fucking nobody.
See?
Yeah, but she's 14. So.
Okay, no.
They was
but
young.
they fucking.
They was young.
They not fucking right now.
They fucking.
How did you know?
Because she 14, she
Get my
fucking.
phone.
Was you fucking at 14?
Hell no, they wouldn't give me no pussy for a long time. I was an ugly little nigga. Man. I couldn't get no pussy, so I couldn't buy no pussy.
You wasn't fucking dope fiends? Everybody fucked dope fiends.
The dope fiends would be listen. I had to pay the dope fiend to get some head. That's crazy.
Right.
Right, that's how I go?
Yeah.
Well, I was tricking, I told you.
Everybody fucked dope fiends in our area.
See, look at you opening up.
Come on.
That nigga opened it up. Come on, baby.
See, when you was 14, that was your first piece.
You feel me? Yeah, that's crazy.
You get to experiment.
No, actually,
without being judged.
My first piece was a chick named Ruby Spencer, and she got really mad at me because as soon as I went in, I came out.
Or you came?
Immediately.
Oh.
I had no resolve. I was weak.
Yeah. Well, you know what they say that is?
No.
If you don't come by the time I come, you got to come when I come back.
Crazy. I like that.
All I
like
want to
that.
know is did the dope fiend that you let give you some head, did she have some teeth?
She had 3 of them, 2 in her pocket, 1 in her mouth. You feel me?
2 in her pocket, 1 in her mouth.
She had 3 teeth, 2 in her pocket, 1 in her mouth. But yeah, so your sister, let's get back to the shit.
So
your
yeah,
sister,
Glenn's sister, I was dating. Then we got cool. Then I was always the rapper. So back at Fremont, when I went to Fremont, I made a 45-inch record.
Mm-hmm.
And the flip side, I don't know if you know him or if you heard of him, but I made it. I paid for one side, and this guy named Rainbow paid for the flip side.
Okay.
And we split the 45 and split the cost.
Oh, that was a long time ago.
Yeah. So I was in high school when we did that. So Glenn knew that I rapped, and he was kind of like just my cheerleader. Like, he was just on the side pumping me up. He'd come to shows, come when I make beats, go do raps, write shit. He was just always cheering me on. But then he would play around and freestyle. But me being a creator, I seen what he was playing around with sounded like it could be something.
Right.
So I told him he should take it serious. And then he took it serious and wrote a rap one time, and then we formed the group.
How old were you?
I was in the 10th grade when I made that 45.
Were you ever in the streets, like doing illegal things?
Yeah.
Because what made you do illegal things? Because you come from
peer pressure.
From your friends.
Straight up.
Just peer pressure.
That's it.
That was it. I mean, you know how it is, how we talk coming up in the community. I mean, if back then it was different because the crack epidemic had just started.
Yeah.
So it was new. So it was a wave. It was the thing to do, to have a beeper and to have a cell phone, and your partners got cars. And that's what everybody, if you stayed in the community, everybody in the community, that's what they was doing. And if you wasn't doing it, you was an outcast.
Right.
The cool guys was doing it, and the cool chicks liked the cool guys that was doing it.
Right.
So.
Yeah, so you guys had the Delinquents going, and how many projects did you do?
We did we probably did about 7 projects, including like little mixtapes and stuff like that.
Right, right. And you guys did a show. What's the name of that spot downtown Oakland? I didn't really know how great of a following you had from this area.
Right.
Until you guys did that show.
Okay.
Not saying that like I say, niggas always up they self, but I listened to a few of you guys' songs. You was always the better rapper. G-Stack, he made a good, backup.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? But your rhymes was always dope. Yeah. I was like, this nigga can rap, okay.
Well, I say we compliment each other.
Well, I'm talking about that's cool. I'm talking about me. Like me, I felt that you were a better rapper.
But we had to follow.
No doubt about it. You guys had to follow it.
Exactly.
No doubt about it. You guys had a great following, Northern California.
Mm-hmm.
And, you were breaking out. You were breaking out. And for some reason, it just stopped. Like, what happened?
Well, through our whole little career, you got to realize we did well. Before that, I'm going to take it back.
Right.
Just so we could cover it. So, leaving Fremont, before the Delinquents, I put a group together. We was the Hardy Boys. And Paul Hardy from Sabrani Park, which is Paul Horse, but they call him Hardy. He produced a group which was me and his nephew, Duda, Vernon little brother. And we was the Hardy Boys.
Vernon Hardy.
Yeah. So Duda, which his name is Melvin, is Vernon's little brother. So me and Melvin was the Hardy Boys, and Paul produced us. Because my family all grew up in Sabrani. So Paul went to school with my mother and father. Okay. Junior high, elementary, high school, whatever. And so we always been around the family or whatever. So me and Duda was cool, and we put a group together because I was rapping since high school. Yeah. So we tried that for a minute, and I don't think Paul kind of knew the logistics of how to really run a record label. You know what I mean? He was just looking for something to do to invest in. Right. And
like we all do.
Yeah, so it didn't really pan out, but it was a good experience.
Yeah. Did you know anything about the music business, or is that where you got your first lesson?
Well, yeah, I mean, even with my 45, I was going to KLEX in Berkeley. I would go to KLEX. It was a college radio station. You remember when you turn your TV on in the morning?
Right.
And if you turn on 3 or something, you see that little rainbow?
Yeah.
So Kalex played on channel, I think, 13, which was the rainbow. So you couldn't see nothing, but you could hear the radio.
Right.
So as a youngster, I knew I'd go to the college radio station. If I play this at a certain time, we got cool with the radio station, and I'd tell all my homies in the neighborhood, 9 o'clock, listen to channel 13.
Right.
So that was my first experience of, I guess you would say, marketing and promoting.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I really didn't, I didn't know nothing else about it.
So establishing the Delinquents, what label did you guys utilize?
Dank or Die Records.
Dank or Die.
That's the record
That's
label
right.
that we created, Dank or Die Records.
Right. And in establishing Dank or Die, did you know, were you then educated on how to pump out your body of music, like how to distribute and things of that nature?
Well, at that point, maturity-wise and development-wise, when I got to that point, I knew to go buy this book called This Business of Music. And this is a book they still sell now. So if you get this book and it's called This Business of Music, it gives you the ins and outs of the record dealings and how to deal and open a label, publishing, royalties, mechanicals, to show you how all that shit worked from start to bottom.
And you went and did this as a teenager?
Yeah.
Okay. And so you guys had some minimal success with the project. And I say minimal because it didn't go global.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And what I wanted to know was, where did it stop?
Where did it stop?
Yeah. Like, what made you guys stop?
I think if I could think back to when I realized, I think when hyphy came, because we was pre-hyphy.
Right.
And I couldn't really see myself
out there dancing and shit?
Yeah, with big glasses on and dancing. I just really couldn't see. Not that I didn't knock, that's what they did, but that's just, I wasn't going to conform to do that to try to fit in. Because I came from an era with, Freddie B, Cassadine, Too Short.
Mob shit.
Right. And that's,
Yeah, I understand.
And then on top of that, like, you always hear people like watching the Kanye, you got to grind and you got to hustle, because rap right now, it ain't about how much talent you got. It ain't about how raw you is. It ain't about how much money you got. It's about your hustle. Because you can have all that other shit, and if you ain't got no hustle, you ain't going nowhere.
I tell people about that all the time, their work ethic.
Yeah. So when you say, when did I stop? When I seen at that time, Mr. Fab, Keek the Sneak was cracking at that time on KMEL, they doing all of the shit. And me, from a business perspective and integrity wise, I was just like, I got to do more than they doing.
And they doing a lot.
Yeah. So I gracefully bowed out. I was just like, I'm cool.
Straight up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that when you got into real estate?
Yeah, I got in real estate. I got my real estate license in 2005.
How old were you then?
27, 28.
Yeah. But you had already bought some property.
Yeah, I bought my first house when I was 21.
21,
yeah.
That's grand, because nobody at 21 thinks like that.
Yeah. So I bought my house, just a fun fact. I mean, the viewers probably don't know, but just so I could get you a fun fact that it'll probably tickle you. When I was 21, my uncle, which is Johnny Fox, which is Rodney Fox's father.
Rodney Fox? Yeah, double R.
It's his father.
Right.
That's my uncle, right? So that's not my uncle. That's not biologically. So my daughter, that's her uncle.
Mm-hmm.
And so his sister, Rodney father's sister, is my daughter's grandmother.
Okay.
But we became family once we consummated that with my daughter. You know what I mean? So he came to me, and he knew that I had hustle in me, and he knew I had cars and motorcycle boats and all that shit at a young age. And he told me that I was blowing my money. So he came to me with a proposition. He said, man, there's a house in Stockton. I know a lady who works at Wells Fargo. She has a client that has a house in Stockton. This was pre-Western Ranch.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, I think 50, 60,000 down he wanted. And he made the loan assumable. So what that meant was I had to come up with like $60,000 to give him, and he put me on the deed, which would give me an interest legally on the real estate itself. So he can't make no moves without me.
Right.
And he said he'd keep the loan in his name for 2 years while I got my credit straight. So I gave him the 60. He put me on the deed. Legally, I'm on the property. So then Johnny took me to the side. He said, hey, I need you to go to Crescent's Jeweler, buy you gold chain.
Start building your credit.
Go over there to the car wash. Go over to the little car lot, buy you a car. Go down to the city of Oakland and tell them that you have a business, and tell them that you've been running this business for 2 years prior.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll backdate your business for 2 years prior, as long as you pay up the fees. So that at that point gave me 2 years of having
Owning
a
the
business.
business.
Yeah, because I paid the back pay fees because I had a business 2 years prior.
Right.
So once that 2 years rolled around, my credit was good. I was able to get the house in my name. And then a lady at the bank told me that I want to pull some money out. And I didn't know nothing about that at that time. The equity.
The equity. Yeah.
So she said, now you got equity, you could pull some money out. So I pulled out, and I asked her how much could I pull out. She was like, the loan to value, the LTV rate, you could pull out up to 80% of the full value of the house. So she told me I could pull out like $100,000 and still be within my loan to value rate at 80%. So when she gave me the 100, I bought a SS 96 SS Impala, and I bought another house on Wells Street.
Okay.
Which I still own now.
Yeah. Wow. That's dope.
In your 20s.
What's dope about it more is that
that's amazing.
You had go ahead.
I was saying in his 20s. That's amazing.
That's raw. And what we like, and what I would like people to understand is that when we do see young men of your stature getting money, somebody needs to be able to pull them and say, hey man, this is what you need to do with your money. You know what I'm saying? And just, the story about going to get the business and shit like that. See, we don't know nothing about that.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure today it still exists.
Yeah, but they also have to
that
listen.
Same concept.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? That you can still go do that. Go down there. Hey, I had this business backdated. Pay the fees. You know what I'm saying? And then that helps you establish that credit. You know what I mean? And credit is very important for those that don't know. If you can't owe nobody, you ain't nobody. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
When I found out credit was important, back in the days, I went to Union City to get a hotel room late night, and they told me we don't take cash.
You got to have a credit card.
Got to have a credit card.
Not no debit.
Credit card. That's when I knew it was real.
So your grandfather played a big part in your life, right?
Yes.
So do you think that, because in the midst of somebody giving you the game, pulling you to the side, telling you what to do with your money, you was open to listen. A lot of people don't listen. So you think your father and your grandfather?
Yeah, I think back in them days we listened as youngsters to fall up under the tutelage of anybody that had some seniority over us, and it was just respect. Like if you was in the gas station and you seen an older lady, you knew not to cuss.
Right.
You knew to help her bags, open the car door, whatever. That's just kind of I think that was part of our era. We had the morals and values in us. Like me and one of my partners was just talking about Thanksgiving, Christmas, and holidays. And it was a fool because I told him, I say the holidays ended when people just start coming around to get food.
Right.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is the holidays ended with when people just start coming to get food, because back in the days, Christmas and Thanksgiving at your grandmother's house wasn't about the food. Right. It was about my uncle gonna come with the new car. I'm gonna wear this sweater. We gonna drink with all of the older dudes. We gonna stand in front. We gonna fellowship. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm gonna play with my little cousins that I ain't seen.
The music gonna be playing. It's
food
gonna be
was
a festive mood.
Food was a byproduct.
Right.
It's love.
You know what I mean? Food was, so now people go, Thanksgiving is just for food. They just come over with
collect plates.
Yeah, they just come over with a plate. They're not coming to fellowship and hang out and spend time with the family and be festive.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy.
So it's just traditions, man, and the way traditions change, it's just it's different. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. So you had that traditional upbringing.
Yeah, definitely.
Which made you feel that it was all right to listen to the OG that had some game for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, another OG who gave me a lot of game was my uncle was the second part to give me the alley-oop to grab it. And I seen you say what alley-oop is, so I know you know now.
Yeah.
So my uncle was the second part of that. The first part was actually Quentin from the Dragons.
Right.
So the way he was the first part is because I had a Harley Davidson motorcycle before that, before the helmet law. You know what I mean? So this was way back when people thought, they asked me why I buy a white man bike, because everybody was riding ninjas. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I wrecked the bike. Back then, it was no Harley Davidson shops everywhere like it is now. If you wanted a bike, you had to get it straight from Milwaukee, from the manufacturer. The manufacturer was in Milwaukee.
Wow.
So I didn't know where to start, because I wrecked it. So now I need to get paint. I need to get pieces. I'm broken. I didn't know where to start at. So I went to the Dragons and I hollered at Quentin. Quentin went across the street to the interior shop, the little Mexican right there. He had a 454 truck. They hadn't started on it yet. He pulled the truck out. We went to Wales Street. We got the bike, threw it in the back of his truck, and he took me to Livermore, to a place that can fix the bike. So the whole ride to Livermore, he was gaming me up. He was just like, man, I see you come around the club, you got cars, bikes, all the shit, and you put, all of this bullshit, basically. He was like, when I was your age, I had 2 houses and I bought my mom a flower shop. He said, you need to start investing in something that they don't make no more of. Earth.
Straight up.
So that was the catalyst to make me now act on my uncle when he came through with the play for me to get the house.
Start investing in something that they don't make no more of.
Earth.
Yeah, that's big.
Earth.
Can't make no more earth.
Right.
Eventually it'll all be bought up.
Straight up.
Eventually. It's gonna be a time that we'll be far gone, but every piece of this earth will be owned by somebody.
No doubt about it.
And so basically this whole game of life and earth is just like a big game of Monopoly.
Most definitely.
So now everybody own a piece on the board, and when you land on my shit, pay me.
Straight up. Just like that.
You land on my shit, you got to pay me.
And you do know that. So, having the success that you had with the music, and then going into the real estate and having success, did you get further into the real estate and start buying more properties?
Yeah.
Yeah. How many properties do you own today?
5.
5. So, and as high as properties are today, like on paper, you're a millionaire.
Probably 3 or 4 million.
3 or 4 million, yeah, millionaire.
Yeah. On paper.
Yeah, I can dig it. I got more money than you anyway.
Did you have a trucking company as well?
Yeah, so the trucking company came about 2005, I got my real estate license. 2007, we had the big market crash.
Right.
When everybody was getting the 1% and the interest-only loans that was adjustables. that start adjusting, and then all of the property dropped, so everybody had to foreclose on the homes and walk away. So I had a 2-year tenure in real estate from 05 to 07, and then the market crashed. When the market crashed in 07, I had to figure something out, so that's when I started the trucking company. So I got the real estate and the trucking company currently running tandem, but for about 4 years I did trucking only until real estate came back.
Mm-hmm.
And when real estate came back, of course, I just hung my license back with a broker and started practicing again.
Right, and then now you had 4 or 5 properties,
Yeah.
and growing.
Yeah.
And growing. And you got your 2 trucks? How many trucks?
No, well now I'm also I got 2 trucks now. I've been up to 5 trucks.
Yeah.
But calculation wise, I realized that all I need is 100%, right? So in my mind, I figured out all I need is 5 drivers that I could get 20% from a piece. So now I broker the 5 drivers that I get 20% a piece from, which makes 100%. And then my other 2 trucks is just icing on the cake.
Dope. Yeah, so your business savvy is at another level. How would you try to tell these young cats, what would you tell these young cats to do to try to make it to that level?
Research. That's the first thing that happens. I feel like that's what we lack. People, they see. I started real estate in 05. I started trucking in 07. So a cat will come at me and he'll see what my makeup is today or my portfolio, and he wants to do what I do. And I tell him, in order to do what I've turned into today, you need about 16 years of working like I did.
Straight up.
I can't tell you how to do what I did overnight in 16 years.
Right.
So cats would come up to me and they would say, hey man, I know you got the trucking company, man, I want to get on. Okay. So I say, okay, you want to get on, and yeah, so how could I get on? But how I start weeding a lot of them out is I would say, go over to DMV. They have a free handbook that's on the counter. It's called a commercial handbook. You get that book, you read it. For about $15, you could go take your written permit test. Once you take your written test, they'll give you a permit. Once you got your permit, you could come back to me and get in the truck with me, and I'll show you how to drive and teach you how to get your license, and you could take the test in my truck.
Right.
I wouldn't hear from them no more.
They wouldn't even go to get the
free handbook.
So did you have any success?
Yeah,
with
I
that
got my partner Kurt, Lil Kurt. Kurt did like 10 years. He got out. He followed what I told him to follow. He got his permit. I taught him how to drive in my truck. He took the test in my truck, got his license. He drove for me for 2 years, got off paperwork, and then I owner financed him my truck and trailer because he didn't have a credit at that time. So I financed him my owner financed him my truck and trailer, and he paid me a certain amount. And actually, when he did it, I reversed the roles. I told him, now I'm the broker. You know what I mean? So even though you ain't paid for the truck, but I'm gonna do you this solid, and I'm gonna give you the big end of the money. I'm gonna only take 20%, and I'm gonna give you 80%. But the caveat to doing that 80% is you have to give me these big payments every month because you're making the bulk of the money.
Right.
He did it. He worked for himself, bought the truck out, drove for a few years, got off paperwork, and then he ended up selling the truck and started driving cement trucks.
Yeah. So that really just helped him transition.
That's it.
To doing something that he wanted to do.
Right. and somebody that listened. I mean, so it gave me, it made me feel good for somebody who really listened once you lay a plan out. You know what I mean? It's like with your kids, when you try to tell them to do something and they don't want to do it your way, they do it their way. Well, you know what I mean? If you do it your way, then you got to pay for your way. You do it my way, I got you 100%. But if you want to do it your way,
right.
then you got to finance that on your own.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. You used to party a lot, though.
Yeah, I did.
You know what I'm saying? Do you party as much as you used to?
No. Well, now, right now I don't, because my son, mom passed of cancer in 2020, March. So when she passed of cancer, my son was 10 years old. So now I'm a single father with just me and him. So, you know what I mean, when you get to the point where you got teacher-parent conference meetings, you got to keep up with the dentist appointments every 6 months to get teeth cleaning. They need health coverage, school, clothes, sports.
He play sports?
Yeah.
What do he play?
Football and basketball.
Oh, I met him.
Yeah, little Cairo.
I met him. We was at the baseball
Concordia.
game.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So he's a little football star.
Yeah. My son King is also playing football.
Okay.
Yeah, he's 12 years old. How old is your son?
He's 12 now.
He's 12?
Yeah.
So who he play for?
He plays for Tracy Rampage.
Oh, so that's like the Dynamites?
Yeah, same.
Okay, so yeah, we live in Tracy now too, so
Okay.
he might fuck around and be playing with your son.
Tracy Rampage, yeah.
Yeah, but he like the Dynamites though.
Yeah.
Yeah, he like the Dynamites is legendary. Yeah, that's good. That's good news, man. It seemed like you've had hell of a success story. Tell me something that upset you in life.
Something that upset me in life?
Yeah, something like I want to hear some negative shit. Cause
I ain't a negative person.
I'm good. You're not a negative person?
No, I mean, like you said, you want to hear some negative shit. My grandfather always told me you don't ever see bees trying to convince flies why honey tastes better than shit.
Yeah, okay. Let me hear some negative shit.
Yeah, fuck that. Let me hear some negative shit. Well, I don't know. I got an 800 credit score.
Or it could be,
He said I got an 800 credit score.
I don't know what
you know.
No, my thing. I'm saying that because you came in here with some gangsters.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You are a self made gangster too, because when they talk about Vidal White, they're not talking about the real estate motherfucker. They ain't talking about the boy with the truck or
right.
You know what I'm saying? The boy that wrote. So what are they talking about?
The one that wrote this book.
They're talking about the myth, huh?
Yeah.
The myth.
The myth.
Yeah.
What is?
Well, you never seen Billy Do. You can't interview Billy Do.
Yes, I have.
Have you? Okay.
Yes, I have seen Billy Do. He bought my mama groceries in the house.
Did he?
Sometime. Yeah.
Okay.
And they went in the room, and I didn't know what the fuck.
Well, you see, but you know, he was fucking your mama. Billy Do was fucking your mama.
I was mad as a motherfucker, boy.
You might be little Billy Do. Did you say you had a problem with the looks, with the women?
You know how motherfuckers was scared of me when they saw me coming? I might be little Billy Do.
Blood, you little Billy Do.
I'm a see my mama fucking Billy Do, and I'm born already. See you. You going? You keep trying to confuse me.
Oh God, this is crazy.
Well, you know, in our era, and you from that era,
yeah,
we prided ourselves on being under.
No doubt about it.
Just like when I would see you in your work vest, you and Willie Clay with the work hats on.
Yeah,
we prided ourselves on being under.
We was at work though.
Yeah, exactly. Just like when I drove the pickup truck with the toolbox in the back.
Straight up.
I was working.
There you go. So, yeah. Okay. That's all they gonna give us, y'all. I'm trying to get the shit out the nigga, man. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's all good. I know more.
I know you know more.
You know what I'm saying? I know more. I was just trying to get it out of you.
You was there.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. So, you know what I'm saying? And what I want to project is that growing up in Oakland, you can come from a negative environment where there's a lot of bullshit going on, and you can overcome that.
Right.
You can overcome that, though. You know what I'm saying? I don't want a person to think that, okay, V. White just came and he was just a goody two-shoe, you know what I mean, this, that, the intelligent and the businessman, and he just did all these great business moves. No, this nigga was in the street. This nigga fucked with the mobsters. This nigga did mob shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And was able to, hold on. You know, same thing I did. I was able to stop that shit, man, and say, hey, reevaluate my shit and say, you know what, man, I've been doing all this shit for what? I actually wouldn't change nothing, because then I wouldn't be who I am right now today. And I respect when I get saluted, you know what I'm saying? Yes. When a person tell me, man, you know, they give me my motherfucking flowers. You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
And I respect all that, though, you know what I mean? Who's to say what I would have been if I would have done anything different? You know what I'm saying? If I would have told on everybody when we was under fire, you know what I mean? If I would have folded when the times was tough, you know what I mean? Who the fuck would I be now? No, I ain't never ran, I ain't never ratted. You one of them same type of guys, you know what I mean? But at the same time, we could come out and we could blossom and be something else that's more beneficial to our people than what we were offering when we were taken.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, I think to your point is why I don't never really go into my past and what I did.
Right.
Is only because the more we watch the internet and the more we see different interviews with people, I see so many people focus on that side of their life because you know what I mean, I sold all this dope. So to me, it start looking bootsy. So that's why I choose not to really talk about it, because I mean, it's like, God damn, how many goddamn killer gangster dope niggas is it? Right. Everybody was on free cheese. Everybody was broke. Everybody had rats and roaches. So I just feel like that's just an old story.
But it's the reality of it.
It is.
It's the reality of it. People would like to hear more people coming up out of that.
Right, but I think people need to hear more of the people who did it and got away with it.
That's what I mean.
And never got caught.
Yeah.
We celebrate the everybody who, when you go to the penitentiary, that's the pinnacle.
Right.
You know what I mean? But we don't celebrate when you get a scholarship. Tomorrow at 10:30, I got to be at my son's school to get his scholarship award that he's been on the scholarship. Right. I mean, for the last 5 years.
Yeah.
We don't celebrate that. You know what I mean? We celebrate the cats who went to jail, the cats who killed up everybody. We need to. What about the cat who made it and didn't have to kill nobody?
Straight up.
What about the cat that sold hella dope and didn't go to jail?
Yeah.
Just like D and all them got busted, it was 100 more niggas that didn't.
Yeah.
Just like certain niggas kill niggas and knock niggas off, it was 100 more niggas that did.
Because you never went to prison.
No.
Straight up.
No.
See, that's dope. That's dope. I got a couple of associates that lived the life.
That's how it is. Yeah. I mean, like you said, I mean, it's people that live amongst us that's serial killers that you would never know. They live amongst us in everyday society.
Right.
And he's truly a serial killer.
Straight up.
It's people that live amongst us that's millionaires.
You never even know.
You'll never know.
Yeah.
That's why Usual Suspects, Kaiser Sose, that's one of my favorite
movies.
That's
my favorite movie. That's my shit. I was just telling Fab about that shit, though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So that's why, I mean, that's the only reson why I just don't.
Now, I didn't try to, my thing was I wasn't trying to be a serial killer. The whole...
Oh, but you were.
Oh, my bad. I transgressed. Listen, we're going to take a break right quick. We're going to come right back, man. I'm enjoying this conversation, man. We'll check y'all out. 1 second.
The mechanics. The mechanics. The mechanics.